Mic check. Hello.
This is sub-L, sub-element. Not sub-elements, it's not like jewels, it's not the same.
Sub-Element's breakdancing organization was founded during the fall of 1999. It was an idea that traveled from the bursting metropolis of Chicago to the rural plains of DeKalb.
Basically, this started like 2 years ago, and that's when I started breaking. I'm not the one that started it. As far as the starting of sub-L, that's like a sketchy kind of thing. Some people like to take credit for it. I mean, basically, the first cats I remember holding it down were Merv over here, the man on the mic, was Quan, Ricardo, and Marcus, and then I came through.
Well, a couple of years ago, a bunch of guys, Quan, Ricky, Marcus, and Billy, together, we all got together. We formed this organization. We just decided we thought, that it would be benefit towards us as students.
The idea traveled quickly. Before long, many of the dancers from Chicago, surrounding suburbs, and other cities around the country, as well as gymnasts, MCs, DJs, and martial artists, began to practice as a unified group in Douglas Resident Hall.
And basically, on the beginning and end, you got the up rock. The up rock is the equivalent of an MC's yo, 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 yo. It's like you're like warm up. It's like you don't want to come straight out and just start doing stuff. So you gotta warm up. You gotta have like a little run, like a little Bruce Lee kind of joint, like a little boxing kind of thing. You want to bounce around, stay on your toes. That's the up rock. Then you got the down rock with actual floor work, which is all the. That's just more where your style comes in. Basically, that's Merv's thing. That's Merv right there. That's Klein. That's all them cats. That's all the various little kicks. Whether you have a knee scramble, you just posing on one hand, doing little things, whatever. You got 4-step, 6-step. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna go through all that. And basically from there, you go to like a pose. Pose is very like if you're busting like a hollow, which is like kind of like an inverted handstand, where your arms are like kind of at an angle like that. Your head's looking straight out, your back's curved over, and your legs are dangling down. Basically, Quan was the first cat that had that. He schooled me on it. There's some other cats that started doing it. Everyone started doing them. That's all. That's actually, got known with the shirt on. Ex-Prez, Marcus, who's not here right now. That's him on the shirts, busting a hollow. You got various poses, kind of taken from capoeira. We got one leg, so you split like this. You got the 2 red poses. Take kind of from skateboarding, various things. And then you got power moves. Power moves are plenty. If you want to combine them, you got like one common thing may be to go down busting the flares. Flares are like what you do on like a gymnastics person does on a pommel horse. Legs open, kind of kicking like this, kicking around, except the only difference is when you're on a pommel horse, you can dip your legs below the horse, and when you're a breaker, you dip your legs into the concrete, and that's about it. And you might bust flares to swipes. Swipes are like, you got baby swipes and normal swipes, 2-legged and 1-legged, those are the variations. That's kind of like a hopping on one leg. It's like a leg-arm rotation kind of deal. Then you go from flares to swipes, swipes into copters, that's the most popular thing. When you think of breakdancing, that's everyone spinning around like this in the back, in your chest and everything, doing all those damn things, doing diamonds and pennies and nickels, of which none of those I can do. Salty as hell. Those are copters, that's what everyone kind of knows. And then you got stuff like Richie Tan over here, he's hiding, he's over there, he's cheesing. That's our headspin guy right there. He's the one that holds it down in bed, and you got Merv who kind of comes through in the headstand. You got Otto working on him. You got Chris back there flapping his arms. He works on him too. Basically, everyone just kind of tries it. That's exactly what it is. You're on your head, you spin. You start off using your hands. When you get real good, you can just let go of your hands and just kind of spin on your head and talk smack to everyone like Richie Tan over there. And you got other moves like 90s. That's the Jerry Maguire move when Cuba Gooding Jr. whatever gets a touchdown. He spins on one hand and does that crazy.
As numbers increased, it became a consensus that formal organization would be the next step. Therefore, this motley crew of ethnic groups, regional and musical backgrounds, and sexes became a small, unrecognized crew called Sub-Elements.
The significance of breaking on campus is just basically getting a group of people who enjoy the same activities, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, some people do the fraternity thing, some people do the house dance thing, we do the break dancing thing, you know what I'm saying? Some people like to deal with organizations. This is what this is, an organization.
Becoming organized increased membership and generated a great deal of word-of-mouth publicity.
The campus was, I believe that they were kind of, at first they were surprised and like to see something like that, because not too many people do it. But a lot of people liked us, especially all the like the hip hop, oriented ones, and the dance, affiliated with the arts. They're interested and they're kind of happy.
But breakdancing on this college campus is basically, this is us. A lot of people don't accept it, a lot of people look at it like it's weird, but you know what? It don't matter. It don't matter what you think, it don't matter what we think and how we feel if we expressing ourselves in a manner that we think is appropriate, which is breakdancing. We heads, we represent the culture of hip-hop,
Although opinions were mixed about the group, it created what was necessary: publicity. People were talking about Sub-Elements, and that was a good thing.
We did a number of shows. We did variety shows, we did talent shows, and we did one called the Apollo. And we just got together. We did like routines, and we had the crowd into it, and they kind of enjoyed our shows.
As with all organizations, Sub-Elements has undergone many changes since its conception.
Well, this year we have like a new lineup as far as me, being the president. We have the secretary. We have Ricky being Billy being vice president, and Ricky being secretary, and a lot of new members come by. We have like 5 or 6, and a lot of this success, comes from I believe just comes from those new members learning, and having fun with breakdance. I have a couple members, Omar and Kevin. They brought. They graduated now, I believe, like a year, and Kevin just last summer. And they give essence of a role model to the students or to the group, because at the same time they're the older guys in the group, but they stuck to their books, and gives us they were just like good role models to us. Now they graduated, so we miss you guys.
2001 will be a new year for Sub-Elements and its 3rd year in existence. Everyone seems excited and optimistic about the new year and the future of Sub-Elements.
Plans for next year include just getting a lot of practice, and hopefully doing some stuff, as far as like performances for the school, and hopefully the school will recognize us more, and we can do, or other organizations, we can do some performances for them, get more recognized. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, we just support every kind of event, as far as like, to dancing, to partying,
Special thanks to Sub Elements. You guys were great sports. I also want to let everyone out there know to be on the lookout for the new film, Little Things, shot right here at NIU. Well, that about wraps this segment up. I'll send you back to your host, Mr. Shavi Grotch. This is James Macon signing off from Douglas Hall. I'm James Macon at CNN Center, comparing online shopping websites just ahead on Next at CNN after a check of the headlines. Police in Kenya say they found fragments of the bomb that killed 16 people at a hotel in Mombasa. They also say Israeli authorities want to take the fragments to Israel for examination. Kenya says the bomb pieces aren't going to leave the country. Israel points to al-Qaeda as prime suspects in the hotel attack and in the failed missile attack on an Israeli charter jet. An American woman and her Spanish husband worried they'd been blamed for the Kenya bombing. Alicia Callhammer and her husband were held by Kenyan police for 2 days before being released.
Sometime that afternoon, Craig Mass and 2 other guys from the American Embassy showed up. Craig Mass is the RSO, one of the RSO people there, and sort of came charging into the police station saying, "Do you have American citizens here?" And we were sitting right there, they could see us, and of course I just burst into tears like, the cavalry's here, and feeling immense relief. I mean, that is a sight that no American should ever have to go through, but if you're in that situation, thank God that they're there. Thank God that they're there.
The vice chairman of the commission looking at how federal agencies communicated before September 11th attacks tells CNN's Wolf Blitzer why he thinks the panel's work is necessary.
You can't fully deal effectively with the future unless you know the lessons of the past. And so rather than detracting, I think it will be a significant form of assistance in that effort, and that's obviously what the Congress believed when it passed the law and the President signed it.
Harry Potter reappeared on the top of the box office chart, swapping places with James Bond. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets has grossed $200 million in the U.S. and Canada so far. Another update at the bottom of the hour. Next at CNN begins right now. Thank you. Rock and roll.